So who are you?
Name's Damian Rodriguez. I'm 19 years old, born and raised in Santa Fe, New Mexico. And I've been training martial arts practically my whole life since I was about 4 years old. And it's kind of always been my dream and like trajectory is to be like an MMA fighter, I think. So yeah, I'd say that's who I am.
Are you an amateur right now?
Yeah, I'm an amateur. I've had one MMA fight so far. I had a few smokers and amateur kickboxing fights when I was a kid. But so far, MMA career-wise, I've just had one amateur fight, 125.
Nice. How did that fight go?
It was, if you ask anybody and if you watch the footage, it's 2 minutes and 40 seconds of me losing and 5 seconds of me winning. But at the end of the day, I got my hand raised with the guillotine.
Nice.
Yeah, so I was pretty undersized for that one. The guy was only about 5'5", but you know, he's 25 years old, so he had that man build on me.
Damn.
And I was 18 at the time. Mm-hmm. So same exact frame and build. I only weighed in like 121 for the 125 weight division. So I'm kind of undersized, and that's kind of what's been putting me on the back burner for my next fight. Is I want to gain some weight so I don't feel so physically, outmatched in there.
Yeah. Cool. So what led you up to getting into martial arts?
It's kind of like...
You've always been in it, though, huh?
I've always been in it. It was... When I was a kid, like, I wasn't into football or basketball, or I didn't find any other sports interesting except for martial arts. It was like... I remember watching UFC with my dad, like, when I was younger. Because like he said, he started training when he was 26. I was about 3 years old at the time, because he had me when he was 23. I started training when I was 4, so it's kind of always been... like right there for me. It was like learning how to ride a bike. Like that was what I found fun. Like that's what I did after school.
So you guys pretty much started at the same time?
Yeah, we started pretty much at the same exact time. I was a little kid though, and he was, a full-grown man. So it was, you could see the differences, like as we've progressed.
Yeah. So your dad was an interesting man.
Very interesting.
So how was it growing up with him?
Growing up with him was fun. Like, I thought he was, top of the world, Superman. He was my idol when I was a kid. I didn't really look up to many, like, athletes or celebrities or anything, really. It was mainly my dad because, he worked on vehicles and he went to work and, he was training. So I thought all that stuff was cool, and it's kind of what pulled me towards, like, wanting to train and whatnot. And I'd say it was fun. He was a fun dad, it was interesting time, I'd say. It was a cool experience growing up with him. It was different from, I'd say, the stereotypical Santa Fe like lifestyle, you know what I mean?
Do you think you can get your dad in a fight?
He wants to. He has a plan of me and him fighting in the same card.
That's intense.
Yeah, I think hopefully whatever upcoming one is, the one that he's looking towards, I can get matched up for that, and we could both be...
Would you get down like that?
I'd get down with him. And we prepared for my first fight. He was my hard rounds for my first MMA fight.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get in any fights as a kid or like growing up. I kind of always avoided it because I trained martial arts. So I was like, if I get in a fight in school, I might get in trouble because I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I don't want to. And plus, I didn't find it worth it. So my dad made sure I knew what a fight was when I stepped into the cage for the first time. So that month leading up to my fight, there were some hard rounds with him. Like, we were in the corner, getting it in. I got hit hard for the first time with him. He put some on. I was like, I'm your son, dude. You gotta pull back a little bit, feel a little bad. Nope. He's like, you're my son. I could put a little more on these.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, man. What's your goals?
Honestly, end goal would honestly get to like a major organization, you know what I mean, for pro-wise. That's kind of always been my focus is MMA and fighting, and getting somewhere where I can look back and be like, oh man, doing this since I was a kid, it was worth it. Like all those years training instead of like, playing around outside and doing stuff, it accumulated to something major.
Yeah.
So I'd say getting to like a major pro, one of the top organizations, like ONE or something, or UFC, I think that would be end goal for me, is to have a good name at the end of the career.
Okay. Cool, man. And what are you doing to take care of your well-being, man, your spirit, your mind, and your body?
The three levels. When I was younger, I was really into
I'm glad you said that too, though. 3 levels, man.
The 3 levels, you got to take care of them. Because a lot, like everyone else has said, everyone thinks like martial arts is like physical. Like obviously it's a physical thing, but it's more so mental. Like it kind of keeps you. It's challenging enough to the point where you have to like put yourself out there. You can't be like in this reserve, like, oh, I don't know, like you can't be unsure. You have to put yourself out there, like, or else you're just gonna get beat up the whole time. You know what I mean? It's something where you're forced out of character a little bit, but you're forced to develop your character.
Right.
And I think it's a big mental game. Like I've always told people, I train more so for, I kind of need it at this point. Like training for so long since I was a kid, it's kind of second nature to me. So when I'm not training, I obviously feel it physically, kind of you get out of shape, but I more so feel it like the spirit and the mind is like we're not at ease. We haven't been fed properly lately. We're not being taken care of. So I'd say mainly getting in here, being consistent, having a grind, like putting 2 hours in and being at the end of it like exhausted, like, oh man, all I can do is shower, eat, and go to sleep. Like I'd say that's when I'm peak mental, spiritual, physical, is when I'm in the grind, I'm in the room, I'm with the guys, and we're pushing each other, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to take care of, like the 3 levels.
Okay, cool. All right, my motto is not all fighters are in the ring. When you hear that, what does that say to you?
Like, all fighters are not all fighters are in the ring, Obviously it extends to personal, like everyone's individual lives. You can even keep it sport related and have the people in your corner, they're fighting just as much as you're fighting, like when you're in the cage. It can mean, there's so many meanings for...
How does that apply to you?
How does it apply to me?
Yeah.
Like the saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'd say for me, it would be mainly my family, especially my mom and my dad. Like they were kind of served. They weren't served no silver platters. You know what I mean? They didn't even get a plate, I think. So you know what I mean? Like there wasn't a lot offered to them. And seeing and just them telling me like how much of a struggle it was, just everyday life, like not even some catastrophic event happening, just they're waking up, going to do what they have to do. I think that really cemented that, not every fight is a fight. It's a grind. Life's a grind. Like
right.
The fight extends from the cage, and that's something I have to really learn, because fighting's always been so integrated into my life that when I was younger I was like, that's the only type of fight. Like you fight in the cage, the UFC fighters, like I was so obsessed with like the glory of that that I kind of ignored like the fight that most people go through every day. And like as I got older I was like, oh man, the fight in the cage isn't as important as the fight you have in life. So it was something I had to learn over time, but I think it would extend to my family, especially my mom and my dad.
Okay. And what are some challenges that you actually faced?
Some challenges for me were, I've always been very hard on myself, lots of self-doubt, pretty much any type of adjective you could put for it. A lot of self-negativity, and that's just because of pressure, you know what I mean? I've been training like since I was 4, so I kind of feel like I have to achieve certain things, you know what I mean, with the way I've looked at the sport my whole life. And I would say just having unrealistic expectations I would say those are the main challenges. I haven't had anything like traumatic or very bad experiences. Thankfully, like my dad kind of kept me away from like that type of lifestyle to really need like those dark outlets, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like most people resort to. I've kind of always had martial arts in my corner. So I would say just really the pressure I put on myself would be the hardest thing that I have to deal with. Just because I know I've been blessed with avoiding lots of things that a lot of people haven't been, just because of having like martial arts and my dad having the life that he had. You know, I've kind of been guided on this path and not wanting to mess that opportunity up. I think because it's hard when your parents have sacrificed a lot and you know they've sacrificed a lot, and so it's like I'm gonna make your sacrifice I'm gonna make it worth it. Like you're gonna be able to see your son on the grandest stage because that's what you've worked towards, and like they've told me like we see you there, you know what I mean? Like we've put the eggs in your basket, we know you can do it, it's your time to shine. So I think just knowing that, it's my greatest fuel, but also greatest like, cloud, like, oh man, I know what's in my hands, I guess. Like with the ball, I know what ball is in my hand.
Okay, cool. All right, last question, man. What are some word of advice you would give to somebody that's in your position?
Word of advice would be trust yourself, use your head, because this is a fight game. You don't know how long the brain's gonna be, ticking at its best. So use your brain, get smart. Never forget to keep training hard, because I think that's something that I've done is take for granted the fact that I've been training for so long. I sometimes don't put in the work or like grind that I need to. So keep your head down, respect the OGs, grind hard.
Facts.
You gotta respect the OGs, grind hard, and your opportunity will come. You just have to trust yourself. Don't feel just because you're young and inexperienced that you're just a dummy, you know what I mean? Like you're just there to get beat up, and that's how you earn your, brownie points. Just head down, grind, and embrace it. It's gonna suck, but that's the best part, is that it sucks, but you're gonna get something out of it.
Okay, real quick. Who's the strongest fighter you know? Real quick.
Easily my mom. She had to deal with my pops when he was at his peak, and she kept him on a leash. So I'd say my mom's she's the biggest, greatest fighter I know, and she has to deal with me and my little brother and my little sister, and we're a handful. So I'd say my mom's.
All right, cool. Any shout outs?
Shout out the family, shout out the gym, shout out Aaron and Natalie. They've been my coaches since I was 11 years old. So, they've been in the corner for pretty much all my fights. So I'd say shout out the team, shout out the family, and shout out Santa Fe. I'd say that's my final shout out. Me to the town.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.